Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I do hope you had a great weekend and then Monday wasn't too bad. Interesting start to tonight's live stream because while typing out a comment, you may have seen it, one of the screens came up. It was the connection screen, because there is a shortcut on the keyboard that can show that screen and then get rid of that screen. So obviously while I was typing, I didn't realize I wasn't in the live chat room while I was typing, and I was still on the software, so that popped up, but we got away with it. I think I got off lightly because it could have brought any screen. We could have been going into the pick roulette or anything. So we kind of got away with that. So we will keep on with this live stream, hoping that I don't accidentally press any more wrong buttons. Let me get you guys up on screen and see who's in the live chat room tonight. And we have Anna and Mark and Jennifer and Totoda, Porker, DC, MC, Corey, Alison, Arlene, Paul, Bev, Susan, Dennis, moderating, DCMC, Robert, 3 Pony or something, Alison, Geb, Anita, Charlie. Hello, thank you for joining me tonight. Right, we have, quite a lot going on this month, as you guys will know from over on Patreon. We have a big night tomorrow night. I'm going to be chatting with Steve Stevens from Billy Idol, and I've been chatting with Steve today, actually, just exchanging messages about tomorrow, and everything's fine, everything's set up. And a little bit of breaking news. Just before I give the breaking news, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make everything that I do on the channel possible. So a massive thank you to you guys. When I say everything, I really do mean everything. These live streams, the analysis videos, interviews such as the one tomorrow night with Steve, the previous videos that we've done, you know, in at the deep end, under the spotlight, and things that I've done in the past, the covers, the riffs of the week, all of that stuff have been made possible by these people. So thank you guys so much for your support. It is massively appreciated. Right, so yes, the breaking news about Steve's interview tomorrow. I just sent him over an email today asking whether he has the ability to have his guitar, maybe play his guitar a little bit, so we can go through a few techniques, break some things down, and it might be the case that I reach over and have a go on the guitar as well. And my arm is getting better, and I think if I just take it slowly, it should be fine. I won't be going too crazy, but I think it's going to be really good for the video if I can explain things or demonstrate things and ask Steve about his way of playing, his concepts, how he approaches what he does. I think it'll be really interesting, especially, considering now that he's let me know that he can have a guitar set up and we can do things along those lines. So that means that the video, hopefully I'll be able to edit that together this week and maybe release it on Sunday. As always, I'm not sure how long the editing's going to take, and it might be the case that on Friday night we miss out a video so that I can do the editing and maybe get it released on Sunday. But that's one of those videos that I think it's going to be great for the channel as a whole, but it's going to be great for Steve to show us just what he does and his approach to playing, because I always find it really interesting to not only dive into techniques, but dive into the artist's approach and what they're thinking when they're playing, because that's a huge part of it. I think a lot of players get to the point where they know a lot of notes and they tend to just put all those notes in an order, and they don't really get into that creative process of, with that knowledge, how do you produce something that is unique, that is just your own personality. And that's something that by talking to top players like Steve Stevens, they'll hopefully be able to allow other people to unlock their creativity with the way that they approach playing. So anyway, it's going to be great. Really looking forward to it tomorrow night. Of course, we'll have a little discussion about the Top Gun theme. We might even just, play through that a little bit, because that's an interesting one to look at under the spotlight as well. But that's all be happening tomorrow night, and then I'll keep you guys up to date, as I said, over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. That's the site if you want to get involved yourselves, and I keep everybody in the loop over there, even on my admin days, which are a Monday and a Thursday, when I catch up with all of my emails. You'll be able to, just get in the loop over on patreon.com. But let's get rid of that. And we have the Moises app video later on this month as well, so look out for that one. Again, I'll keep you guys up to date with what's going on there. What is actually going on there is that in order to, I don't usually do these sponsorship type videos. It's not really a sponsorship type video, but it's a review of their app that they have asked me to do, so I guess that is a sponsorship. But when you have a video like that, the only other one of those that I've done was for Fender, when they sent me the guitar and the amp, and you can actually see it behind me over my left shoulder. So, they sent me that. I was more than happy to do a video just looking at the guitar, reviewing it, and just going through a little bit of what you can get on the amp as well. But anyway, I don't do a lot of sponsorship videos. That was the only other one that I've done. But this Moises app just popped up, and when I realized what the app did, I thought this is going to be really useful for people. And I'm not going to do a video or a sponsorship video with something that I don't think will genuinely help people, and something that I don't think will help not only other people but myself. Like, this app came along and I thought, wow, I could use this in the future. So that is why I am going to be doing a video with Moises. But with that, it means you have to sign contracts, and it means setting up an account. Because I don't do these videos in the past, it means that I don't have an account with the people that do the contracts, and that's deal.com, DEEL. So because I don't do them in the past, I haven't got a kind of registration, or I'm not enrolled into that, so they haven't got my information. I then need to give like a government issued ID, take a picture of that, take a picture of me, and there's lots of stuff I need to set up in order to get the contract going. But anyway, once I have got to the bottom of that, I'm going to get the interview and probably a good deal of the editing done before I kind of move on to the next project. But that's where I am with that. So that's going to be happening before the end of the month. So, I mean, the month is moving along quickly, but as I said, I'll keep you guys in the loop. Anyway, let's get everything organized on screen, because we're a little bit slow to start with everything on the screen tonight. First of all, let's get the likes goal up on screen. This is set at 380, which again is a huge target for a Tuesday, but we are going to give it a go and see where we end up. At the moment, we are at 169, did that say? Yes, it did. So if you guys can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated, because it really helps this live stream to get out there, but for this channel to grow on the whole. So 380, huge target. We did hit it on Saturday, and I'm not sure, maybe last Tuesday we were around 375, but 380 is, I think, the highest, the joint highest it's ever been. When we include Saturday, we might have had it last Tuesday, I can't remember, but we're going to have to pull out all the stops in order to get it going this week as well. So fingers crossed. If you can hit that thumbs up, if you haven't, that would be great. Let me get the donations tab up on screen, just in case you can't resist. You don't have to donate, of course, but if you can't resist and you feel that you really want to, then the percentages are up on screen. 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal, and you can find the PayPal link in the description below if you want to use that. And when I say 3 to 5% goes to PayPal, I'm talking about through the PayPal link. They're not joined, so they're separate ways of donating. So yeah, if you do a donation, you don't have to, but if you do, just so you know what the percentage split is on the two separate formats, YouTube and PayPal. So let me try and keep everything organized tonight. I know that there were, I think, a couple of donations before we went live. So let me see if I can grab those, because they disappear as soon as we go live, which is a bit annoying. And it was Orlando who donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, spike the likes, hit that like button with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. Great idea to spike the likes. And let's have a plug of the mug, as we always do when Orlando donates. And a little spike of the likes, a double hint there for that thumbs up. We'll pop that over there. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, including the clothing like this, the Wings of Pegasus hoodie, which I'm just modeling at the moment. There's a zip up version which I'm wearing. I've actually got the other version which doesn't have a zip on it, but we've got hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and hats and all of that cool stuff. Just head to the description below. You can click on that link. It will take you through to the spring.com store. Right. Let me address the other donation that came in, and this was Paul, and it was for $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, Orlando says spike the likes, Orlando's backup guy. So thank you for that, Paul. And Orlando did indeed say spike the likes. I'm sure Paul is just backing up that sentiment. Thank you for that, Paul. And I think those were the two that came in before we went live. So thank you for those. And we did have a couple, I believe, over on PayPal. So what I'll do is try and get really organized and jump straight into these at the beginning of the live stream, because we do start to get a little bit confused, or a little bit overly busy trying to jump between things. And let me mention the covers tonight, because there's always a vote for the cover videos during the live streams. Tonight, the two songs are To Be With You and Miles Away. So click on either of those songs, whichever you would like to hear tonight. Later on in this live stream we will jump into, and of course those are my versions of those songs. And I think Miles Away has been up there for a few weeks. I think maybe we didn't do it the last live stream or the one before, but it has been suggested quite regularly. But it also looks like To Be With You has 55% of the vote so far. So it might not be Miles Away's night tonight. We will have to see. If you want to maybe boost Miles Away a little bit, just click on the poll, click on the song, and it should then register your vote, and maybe we can bring that 55% down. Or if you want to hear To Be With You, just keep on clicking on that one. And you only get one vote per person. You can't just keep on clicking on it. So let me get into the donations, because what I'm going to do is just do a double check to make sure that we didn't miss out any, because I think the first one we're about to look at was from this afternoon, and I think that is correct. So let's get that up on screen. And this was a donation from Tammy for £10. So thank you for that, Tammy. And that was at 56 minutes past 1 this afternoon. The message was, hi Phil, what is the best advice another musician has ever given you? Rock. So thank you for that, Tammy. And I think I've been asked this on the live streams before, but just to keep it brief. But then again, I start to go off at tangents with my replies to questions. Anyway, we will try and keep it as short as possible. But I would say that when I was, I don't know, probably in my mid-20s to then late 20s, even early 30s, we'd rehearse in Maidenhead, and there was a guy called Ash, and his surname was Bull, but it was Ash who owned the studios, and, you know, we got on quite well. He was a young guy as well, probably, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years older than myself and the guys in the band. And after we'd finished, because we always rehearsed like after work, whenever everyone could make it, so it meant that we were finishing up at about midnight. So when we're packing up, generally the rest of the band, like the drummer and the bassist, would leave quite quickly, because they had to, you know, go home, go to bed, get ready, you know, to go to sleep, to get up for work the next morning. Whereas myself and Griff, who you guys will know, regular viewers will know Griff, he's been on the live stream before. In that live chat room, we played his recent single that he released with his brother. But myself and Griff used to stay behind and just chat with Ash, because he was a musician. And Ash had a record deal, you know, previously. I don't know maybe 10 years, how long previously it was to him then owning the recording studios and the rehearsal studios. But he had a record deal, so it meant that he knew a lot about the industry, including what it involved, signing contracts and just telling us his experience of it, and the fact that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately. Anyway, the advice that he gave to me and Griff was that whatever you think of, a lot of people have ideas about what they want to do in the future. And I know this myself, that when I was 23 and we had our own band and I was writing original material and we were going out and gigging, and we weren't making any money because they aren't paid gigs, original gigs here in the UK. So you have these ideas, you think, right, what can I do to try and get some publicity? Should I, go down and wait for DJs, giving them my CDs? Should I email people? Should I just email fans of other bands that are similar to ours and try and get them to listen to our music? Should we follow people on Twitter? Should we do this? Should we do cover videos to maybe get people on board? And you have so many ideas of things that you have maybe just every day that you just write down and think, oh, would that be a good idea? Would that be a good idea? And the advice that he gave to me was, any idea you have, do it. Like, don't have a list of ideas, literally have an idea and do it. So that's pretty much what I started doing at the age of, 23, 24. Any idea that I had, whether it be to do a cover video, to make a music video, to then, book 2 or 3 gigs a week, to then maybe do 1 video a month. All of these different things, to wait for DJs outside their recording studios, to email off, to record labels. I did that, but that's totally pointless. Email up to record labels, even driving around record labels in London. And this is something that I did in my early 20s, but then realised as I progressed that, what I wanted or what I needed wasn't a recording contract. It was just to get my music out there as much as I could myself, because then I don't have to sign anything away. So that's the other thing, is then starting a website and getting your songs on the website and having the songs to begin with. So buying recording equipment, getting a computer that I can record on and mix, getting reference speakers and all of these different things that were ideas that I just did. And pretty much after, I'd say 15 plus years, most likely, about 17 or 18 years of literally doing every single idea I could think of, then something, gave. And I think that, they say, there's an expression where they say, if you throw enough stuff at the wall, and it's not stuff, but it's the same stuff that hits the fan when everything goes crazy. But if you throw enough stuff at the wall, some of it will stick. And that's certainly what Ash used to say. So that is it. If you just throw loads of ideas out there and do all of those ideas, that's the important part. You've got to be proactive. You've got to follow through with all of these different ideas. And if you can do that, then some of your ideas will stick, and you won't need to have a break at any point, because you've made your own break by just doing everything that you can perceive might help. And that's why we are here. And again, setting up a Patreon page, that was all part of it. That was an idea. I thought maybe I should do that. And I've mentioned about how I message fans of other bands on Twitter, and I did over 100,000 personal messages, typed those out to people over the course of probably 3 or 4 years. But again, that was just a daily thing, just chipping away at it. But I would say that all goes back to Ash at Maidenhead, and that was Denmark Street, not the Denmark Street in London, which I've done a few rehearsals at as well, but Denmark Street in Maidenhead, which is a totally different thing, and obviously it's a lot bigger, and I would say a lot nicer to rehearse in Maidenhead than in London at Denmark Street. But you can't deny the history of Denmark Street in the music industry and the bands that have rehearsed there. Anyway, that would go back to Ash at Denmark Street in Maidenhead. Anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And I am just going to scroll up because There's another donation that came in from Billy, so thank you for that, Billy. And the message is, and this is for £15, thank you for that. The message is, hello Phil, I wanted to wish you good luck on your talk with Steve tomorrow / later today. Let me scroll down so you guys can see this. And I also want to send a happy birthday shout out to Daniel Rose or Dan R in the chat. Daniel's birthday is also tomorrow / later today, June 8th. Thank you. So thank you for that, Billy, and everyone. Huge shout out to Dan R or Daniel. I mean, Dan R should be in the chat there somewhere, possibly, but I'll keep an eye out to see if I can see Dan in there anyway. We will wish him a very happy birthday, as I'm sure all you guys in the live chat room would like to echo those sentiments from Billy. Everyone say a huge happy birthday and hello to Dan in that live chat room. Thank you for that, Billy, for drawing our attention to that. And I'm just going to scroll up because Tordo Porco has donated £3. Thank you for that. And let's scroll down because the message is, here is another unnecessary donation because it is necessary for Wings of Pegasus to be a necessity in our lives. So thank you for that, Richard. And that was almost like, it sounded almost like a riddle, the way that I was explaining it, but it does make sense. With all the necessity and unnecessary mentions in that particular comment. Thank you for that, Richard. I think it's one of those that I'm going to read again very quickly. Here's another unnecessary donation because it is a necessary or a necessity for Wings of Pegasus to be a necessity in our lives. Okay, because it is necessary for Wings of Pegasus to be a necessity in our lives. Thank you for that, Richard. I'm not sure whether I read it correctly the first time. Maybe I said it was it is necessity for Wings of Pegasus. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I threw myself off. But thank you for that donation anyway. And it's a little bit of a tongue twister almost. Not really, but for me, pretty much any message on these live streams is a tongue twister because I'm not very quick at reading. But thank you, Diana, for this £6.07 donation. And the message is, hi, as Phil. If you could take a musical vacation of some type, what would that entail? Would you want to learn something new on guitar or drums, play an entirely new instrument, or just watch a favourite artist / band? Also, a big howdy to all y'all wingers. So thank you for that, Diana. And I don't know if I had a vacation, I probably would spend that vacation just watching other bands. So that might be a case of just like booking off maybe 2 or 3 weeks, even just in the UK, and maybe going, maybe catching a day of a festival or a couple of festivals. But I don't think that I'd do a full festival because, yeah, it's a little bit hardcore for, for me to be setting up a tent and all that kind of stuff. I think I'd most likely just go to the Sunday because then you get the headliners, and yeah, most likely I'd probably do Glastonbury because my sister does Glastonbury, so I might join her. That could be fun. I'd probably do Download Festival as well. And I don't know, I mean, maybe the Isle of Wight Festival, that is one of those that would technically be a bit of a holiday because I'd have to get the ferry over to the Isle of Wight. So I could do that. I don't think that I would spend the holiday trying to learn something new on, drums or guitar or anything like that, or learn a new instrument, because, I can pretty much do that anytime. That's part of what I do. Everything that I do entails, picking up the guitar, working things out, but I don't get a chance to just go away and watch other bands. So yeah, that is something that I would find, quite interesting to do. So thank you for that, Diana. And I'm just going to scroll up because there's been another donation from Diane, who has donated £12.21. Thank you for that, Diane. And let's scroll down to the message. and it says, thank you for sharing your stories in the live streams. So thank you for that, no problem at all. And thank you guys for the questions. And, you know, I know that some of the donations are just straight up donations, which are great, but it's good as well now that we can read the messages with the PayPal donations to just address some of these questions, because it always tends to lead us down other avenues, which is interesting as well for me. And just to mention that I have got a new sub on the go tonight, because I had an M Audio sub previously. Now I've got a KRK sub on the go, which is great. And I was setting that up earlier today and I was having a few problems with it, but I finally got it all routed in and wired up, and now it's working, which is great. I had this vision that, you know, maybe it wasn't a good idea to change my setup with the interview tomorrow night, but fortunately, yeah, it only took me about half an hour to sort everything out. With my setup, I do have it so that everything is neat. I am one of these people that likes to keep everything as neat as possible, so any wires that are hanging or looking not very neat, I don't like to see. So when I just look at my desk, I just want to have all of the things that are on the desk, but then as if they're all wireless, you know, so I don't like to see any of the wires around. So even with the sub that's under the desk, you can't see, I can't see from any, you know, any position here, no matter where I move, I can't see the inputs or, you know, the plug and everything, which is what I like. But the only drawback of having this set up like that is that all of my wires are taped together, and it's Velcro, and they're not actually taped, so they're Velcro together to make, say, 5 or 6 leads into one long chunky lead that I'm actually going to cover over with something, so it's going to make it look even neater. But anyway, that runs down the back of the desk, but it means that when I am doing wiring, because there are a lot of wires for everything, it means that I'm having to find the correct jack. And especially when you're talking about a sub, you have your inputs, you have your left and right inputs, but then coming out of the sub you have your outputs left and right as well. So it means that if you're putting your jacks into the sub and then they have to come out, and it's not that I've got a straight route from the sub to the speakers, I have to just destroy everything, and sometimes I'll have the end of a jack which isn't actually the jack that I think it is, and I'll be plugging that in and it'll be a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, long story short, it's now working, and I did mention this last night in my update, but I don't think I took a picture because I was, you know, I had just set it all up and I hadn't got around that far. And I think I did get a picture of it just on the internet, but I think I started the wrong kind of update. I just did a text update rather than an image update. But I might take a picture of that for you guys to see. It's not very interesting, but it's just a sub on the floor taking the place of the other sub, because I mean the other one was quite old and the other one is more suited to the studio anyway when I'm in there with the green wall, because that's a bigger space for, you know, the speakers and the sub, whereas this is a little bit more compact and it's just an 8-inch sub. It might be 8.5 inches, I can't remember, but you know, it's a decent size, but good for what I'm doing in here regarding interviews, analysis videos, all that kind of cool stuff. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that just because I looked down and I noticed that I had the new sub on the go tonight. Anyway, thank you, Diane, for that donation. And by the way, another just prime example of what happens with your support. As I said, the speaker that I'm using, or I was using, that sub, that was getting a little bit old, and it, for this setup that I've got, it wasn't really suitable. It's just a little bit overkill. Whereas for this setup, I can have things a little bit smaller, maybe some 4 or 5 inch monitor speakers, reference speakers is probably what I'm going to go for, because my M Audio speakers that I've got, I mean, these are old as well. They're the same age as the M Audio sub that I got, but I'm going to be replacing these with some maybe 5-inch monitor reference speakers, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is just an example because these are starting to crackle now, and I've got brand new leads. It's not the leads that I've got. It's got some really nice balanced leads, so everything is great, but unfortunately your speaker system is only as strong as the weakest link. And at the moment, normally it's people's leads that let them down. They don't get quality leads between their speakers. But at the moment, I've got quality leads, but it's actually the speakers that are letting me down. And unfortunately, my dad, I mean, very early in their life, he knocked one of the speakers off the studio setup that we had, and it fell into the wall, and the inputs at the back got bent. And fortunately, they have worked for a number of years without any issues, and now we're starting to get some crackling going on. So it's going to be time to update my setup here. But another great example of your support and the fact that I'm having problems with my reference speakers, but I can replace them because of your support. And as you guys will know, I mean, any musicians will know that, yeah, replacing gear and studio gear isn't something that's really easy to do, and it's by no means a cheap thing to start replacing reference speakers and subs, and just getting decent leads as well. So this is another a great example of your support and where your support goes. It's not just what you see, it's what you hear as well. Being able to have everything for these live streams and my analysis videos, getting it all wired so that when I do interviews, we can hear the person speaking, you can hear me, I can hear them through speakers, all this kind of stuff. So just another great example of what your support does during these live streams as well. As I always say, it's not just what you can see on the screen, but I always say that you're the foundation of the channel, and you don't have to donate, but every single donation does make a huge difference. So thank you guys so much for those. Anyway, Diane, thank you for that donation. And I'm just going to scroll up because Marge has donated £2.29. So thank you for that, Marge, and that is a straight up donation. And Maria has donated £1.53, and the message is, I couldn't help myself, spike the likes, everyone. So thank you for that, Maria. And just quickly, Lucy has donated £26.10. Thank you for that, Lucy. And I'm just going to scroll down because the message says, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers. Congratulations on 261,000 subscribers. Don't forget to spike the likes with a thumbs up. What t-shirt are you sporting tonight, Phil? Rest in peace, Alec, John Such and Jim Seals. So thank you for that. And I'm just going to scroll up. So first of all, my t-shirt is The Matrix. So yeah, that's what this is technically The Matrix, but it's a paused version of The Matrix. So, and I did see, let me just scroll up. I did see that Orlando mentioned, I think as soon as we went live, about Jim Seals passing away from Seals and Croft. So I don't, I'm not sure if it's just Jim Seals that's passed away. But anyway, Lucy, thank you for that. I haven't heard at least about Alec John Such and Jim Seals, or Alec John Such. Maybe that was previously that I hadn't heard about. So thank you for that donation, and also for letting us know that later information. Like I said, Orlando did mention about Jim Seals in that donation. Let's just quickly get into that because Orlando donated $2. Thank you for that. And the message was, may Jim Seals of Seals and Croft rest in peace. So thank you for that. Right. Let me try and keep everything organized. We're at almost 20 to 1 here in the morning. So I might just try and roll things along with tonight's cover video, because it looks like To Be With You has 55% of the vote so far. And I know that we start to do the cover video maybe about 22, maybe quarter to 1, but I might play it a little bit earlier tonight so that it leaves us space. I know that in the last live stream, I think we finished it kind of closer to 1:30. So I need to be a little bit more strict, especially considering the fact that tomorrow I have the interview with Steve, and I'd probably just want to set everything up Zoom wise. I haven't done that yet, to set up Zoom and make sure that my mic's going to work. If I am going to plug in my guitar, I've got to make sure that, you know, the guitar and the mic is going to work, that it's all going to go through Zoom, because yeah, it's going to be a bit silly me rushing tomorrow trying to set that up. So I'm going to try and finish relatively swiftly tonight. Maybe at about 1:15, which is when we should really finish anyway. So with that in mind, let me have a little look into the vote for tonight's cover. I'm going to bring that to a close and see where we ended up with that. It looks like it was To Be With You that had 55% of the vote. I'll wait to get that confirmed. But thank you everyone for clicking on the covers for tonight, and you guys over on Patreon for requesting them in the first place, and for requesting Percy Johnson. Let me give a quick shout out to Percy, because we haven't heard how he's been getting on. Unfortunately, he's still in the same predicament as he always is. But if you guys enjoyed that song that we started with, Percy Johnson, that's on my album called Persistence, which you can find at wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go straight to that page. But you'll also find the same album called Persistence on iTunes and Amazon, but it's better for me if you go to my website, because it means then I don't have to give away a percentage to them. So anyway, let me get that off the screen. And I think it did go through 55% for To Be With You. So we'll jump into that now. Obviously, it's my version of it, the classic tune by Mr. Big. That is the band. I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Hold on, little girl, show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl, a broken heart can't be that bad when it's through, it's through. Love will twist the both of you. So come on, baby, come on over, let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Feel it too. Waiting on a line of greens and blues, just to be the next to be with you. Build up your confidence so you can be on top for once. Wake up, who cares about little boys that talk too much? And I've seen it all go down. Your game of love was all rained out. So come on, baby, come on over, let me be the one to hold you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Feel it too. Waiting on a line of greens and blues, just to be the next to be with you. Why be alone when we can be together, baby? You can make my life worthwhile. I can make you start to smile. When it's through, love will twist the both of you. So come on, baby, come on over, let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. I'm the one. Deep inside, I hope you feel
And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for that cover tonight. And let's have a little look into that likeometer. We are at 288 likes. So the target tonight is 380, which means we're looking for 92 more people to join into that live chat room and hit that thumbs up to get ourselves closer to that goal. We are getting closer to 300, which is great. But if you haven't used that thumbs up yet, it'd be massively appreciated if you could do that to help us get up to that target tonight. If we do hit the target, then we're going to be having another pick roulette next week. We are going to be having one of those tonight, so look out for that. And we do have a couple of pictures as well. So let me move over to, I think we have had some donations in the super chat window, which we haven't looked at yet. And yes, after Orlando, there was one that came in from Bonnie. So thank you for that, Bonnie. And it was a donation of $4.99. And the message is critical hit with the Nintendo-esque looking controller. So thank you for that, Bonnie. And just a little bit of news about when that last video played. It started up playing and I didn't have any sound. So I started to panic thinking, what's going on? And I didn't realize, because when I do set up the live streams, I check my mic, I look at the levels and it's all fine. But I didn't check that the sub, well, I checked that it was on, but it's actually in standby mode, which means that my new sub wasn't playing, you know, wasn't playing any noise, wasn't making any noise, and wasn't playing any of the songs, so I couldn't hear it. So had a bit of a panic, but then I looked at the levels and realized that it was going out. I just couldn't hear anything. So it's absolutely fine, and everything's now working, so that's good as well. Right, it was just in standby. I've just flicked the switch on the back and we are back live. I can hear everything, which is good. Right, so 305 likes. So thank you guys for spiking the likes. And we're looking for 75 more people now. The maths is getting a little bit easier to work out. Right, thank you, Bonnie, for that donation. Jennifer donated $7 and said, Phil, sorry about the Bon Jovi drummer who passed away. Take care. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I think that's echoing what Lucy said in that PayPal donations window as well. I'm just going to scroll down because M has donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, M. And the message is good evening, everyone. And that is it. So thank you for that, M. And everybody say a good evening to M in that live chat room. And Stardust Unicorn has donated $5. Support band to Wings of Pegasus. As I always say, thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation as well. And Jeannie has donated $5. Thank you for that, Jeannie. And that's a straight up donation. I'm just making sure that, because we had 2 straight up donations in a row, I want to make sure that I don't miss any messages. I don't think those had messages. And then Jeannie donated again $2, and this one did have a message. And the message was, hi Phil, please play a quick God Save the Queen. So thank you for that. And I'm not going to be playing anything tonight. I'm going to be putting all of my eggs in the basket of tomorrow night when I get the guitar out with Steve Stevens, because I think it's going to be a lot better for me to not do anything now, because my arm's feeling better, which is good. And yeah, I'm not gonna. It would be absolutely typical that I just play a little bit of guitar tonight and I get a bit of a twinge, and then I can't do anything for the Steve Stevens video tomorrow night. So I'm just gonna pass on that. You'll have to just imagine me playing, or you can watch Brian May playing his version, which I would just point everybody in that direction. But thank you for that, Jeannie. I was watching a video actually earlier on Bon Jovi about his vocals and all that kind of stuff. It does tend to be, unfortunately, something that on YouTube is really under the spotlight at the moment. Everyone's focusing on on Bon Jovi's vocals and them maybe not being very good, and somebody saying that he's now lip syncing, but saying only lip syncing for a particular note or two. So yes, Yeah, another message. Thank you there, Lucy, for mentioning Alec John Such. Oh, it's Lucy again, because Lucy is Lucille on PayPal. So this is like 3 things that are now into the same comment. But thank you for that, Lucy, mentioning about, yeah, Alec John Such and Jim Seals. And we had Jennifer, who mentioned about John Such as well, or Alec John Such, but just mentioning John Such as the name, and playing bass and not drums. Anyway, let's keep on. We'll keep on moving forward, but thank you for the donations and those messages. Right, we will try and keep organised. I know there have been other donations in that PayPal window, so thank you guys for those. I do address all of them before the end of the live stream, so don't worry if I don't mention your donation. I will get to those. So having a little look into that live chat room, we are now at 321, so things are moving along nicely. But we are aiming for 380 tonight. So that is, yeah, quite a large target. But hopefully we can get there. We're looking for a few more people to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't done that yet so far and you are in that live chat room, it would be much appreciated. It really does help this live stream to get out there a little bit more and for the channel to grow on the whole. And if you are watching this in the future on catch up, then you can still hit that thumbs up. Every single thumbs up helps. Right, let's now move into the PayPal window just quickly to get up to date with that. And let me get this on screen for you guys so that you can see as well. There we are. And Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, what do you think of taking a job where you play once or twice every day? Cruise ship, casino, club, etc. So thank you for that, Steve. And yeah, I'm not sure. This tends to be, I mean, if you're playing, you know, on a cruise ship, or, I mean, at a casino or a club, it depends very much. With a cruise ship, unless it's, you know, a cruise ship that is specifically designed for having like rock bands on who play original material, of course, of which there are, it tends to be covers. So you're just playing songs that everybody knows, and you're doing that, you know, a couple of times a day. For me, I think I'd probably want to have original songs that I'd play, so I don't think I'd be one of these that plays, you know, covers a couple of times a day, because yeah, I'd probably find it a little bit either, you know, frustrating that I just want to play my own songs, and, you know, you might have to play songs that you aren't necessarily a fan of yourself, but you just have to play them because that's the songs that other people might like them, and you might not like playing it. But yeah, I don't think I could really stick that out for any length of time. I know that it's then a paid job, and it's just, you know, money to pay your rent or whatever. And that, yeah, if you're on a cruise ship, then, you know, you're full board and everything's paid for. But yeah, I'd rather just, you know, do what I'm doing and, you know, be able to do things like speak to Steve Stevens, which is going to be amazing, rather than being on a cruise ship performing twice a day where I wouldn't have time to be doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, unfortunately that's just just my own personal preference. But thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, when you're talking about a casino, if you're talking about, say for example, having a, you know, I can't remember what it's called, but you have, it's the opposite of a vacancy, but you have, and I don't know why my brain is not giving me this word, but it's when you have, and it's not going to give me the word, but it's when you have a particular length of time, a residency. I don't know why it took that long for my brain to actually bring the word to the front. So a residency, you know, in Las Vegas at a particular venue. I know that, yeah, lots of bands and artists, especially singers, have their residency in Las Vegas, and they have that lasting for a particular amount of time, and they might be doing a couple of shows, you know, every day, and yeah, it might last for, you know, a few weeks, maybe even a month or two. But that is something that, yeah, would be interesting because you're playing your own music. It's all original stuff. So I would find that interesting. So thank you for that, Steve. So I think pretty much it's something that I would like to do if it was original material. I don't think I'd go away on a cruise because then you're spending months at sea, whereas I'd like to keep my feet on land. I'm just one of these people that I'm not a big fan of, going out into the ocean. And even I'm not a big fan of going out into the ocean to swim, because the animals that live in or the fish that live in the sea, they don't realize that, we like to swim and that we're not, they don't realize that they shouldn't be attacking humans because we're in their realm. As soon as you go swimming in deep water, and if it's warm, there's every chance that a shark might think, this looks interesting, let me go and see what it is, take a bite of it because I haven't seen one of these before, or it might think you're a seal or something. But yeah, sharks haven't got the memo that they're not supposed to be eating humans. So this is why as soon as you go out into deep water in the ocean, if you get attacked, if anybody else gets attacked, it's just the risk that you take. And I'm amazed that I see so many of these surfers, going out into deep water and just like paddling on their front. I'm sure that to a shark looking up, all they can see is like a shadow with two things paddling, which that's how a seal moves. So yeah, I'm amazed that they obviously, if you love the sport and everything, you're really into it, then it's just part of the territory, you take that risk. But yeah, certainly something that I wouldn't be doing. I mean, it's a little bit easier here in the UK because our water is so cold. We don't actually have sharks. They need a little bit of warmth going on. So yeah, not something that I would do in a warm climate. But anyway, and yeah, I know that a cruise ship, obviously you're not swimming, but it just doesn't suit me really. I don't fancy being away from home for months on end, or without my feet on solid ground. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Just going to scroll up because Carla has donated £6.04. Thank you for that, Carla. That is a straight up donation. And scrolling up again because Lynn has donated £57.15. Thank you for that, Lynn. Very kind donation there. And the message is, thanks, Phil. And no problem, that's absolutely fine. And thank you for tuning in, and everyone for tuning in to this live stream tonight, and just tuning in general to the channel. But it's great to touch base with you guys on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. As always, I will be there on a Tuesday and be here on a Tuesday and a Saturday. Right, let me have a little look. 340 likes we are at the moment, and we are looking for 380. So we're looking for 40 more people to jump into this live stream tonight. And now 39. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be massively appreciated if you could do that. We've got 15 minutes to hit that target because we are going to be ending on time tonight because of the preparation I've got to make for the Steve Stevens video tomorrow. But hopefully, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, you can hit it now. Maybe it would be much appreciated. Let me just jump into that PayPal window because another one has popped in there. And let me just scroll down because Lauren has donated £25. Thank you for that. And the message is, spike the likes. Great idea there from Lauren. And James has donated 66 pence. So thank you for that, James. And the message is up the irons. So thank you for that, James. And I don't think James is referring to doing ironing, which is something you can also call an iron. So again, not in that sense. Thank you for the donation, James. Just scrolling up. And Diana has donated £2 as well. Again, thank you for that, Diana. And the message is, Phil, I know you have some Scandinavian family members, hence the spelling of Phil, but you are dark-haired and fair-skinned. Do you have any Irish or Welsh in your ancestry? So thank you for that, Diana. And no, when I was a kid, I was blonde as you can be until, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, something like that. My hair started to get darker, and it pretty much got darker with age. So I started off blonde, and then to my age now, it's just got darker and darker and darker. And I have, my mum's originally from Scotland, so that might be it. So I might have started out Scandinavian with blonde hair, and then as I've grown older, maybe the Scottish part has come through a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. Obviously England as well. My dad was born in England, but my grandmother was born over in Norway, so that's where the Norwegian link comes in. But sadly my grandmother died before I was born. But then obviously my dad, born in England, his dad was English, my granddad was English, who has passed on as well now, unfortunately. But yes, it's just English, Scottish and Norwegian. Pretty much that's, I think, most of it, although I haven't looked into everything, you know, the ancestry kind of too deeply, but those are what makes up me, or at least the most part. I know that all of us have got tiny bits of so many different nations in our history, and this is why, yeah, it is ridiculous when you think about, you know, countries invading other countries, because we are all linked. We all have parts or history from different parts in the world that have made us who we are and where we are at the moment. So yeah, it is ridiculous what's going on in the world at the moment, but we are all linked. And yeah, mainly mine's Norway, England and Scotland, but I'm sure there's lots of other nationalities and lots more history in there as well. Thank you for that, Diana. I'm just going to scroll up because Kevin has donated £1 and says happy 64th birthday to Prince. So thank you for that, Kevin. And yes, this was the thing about Prince, that he just never seemed to age. And I'm sure that, yeah, if he was still around at being 64, he would still just look exactly the same as he always did, or have that more distinguished kind of cool look that all of, I mean, pretty much everyone's idols, when they grow older, they just still look really cool. And that's something I saw Lenny Kravitz. So that was going to be Lenny Kravitz, is what my brain was going to try and say then, moving the letters around. But yes, I saw Lenny Kravitz the other day, like, you know, recently, not in my life, I mean on TV. And yeah, he's one of those guys that is still just really cool looking. He doesn't seem to age at all. So anyway, thank you for that, Kevin. And I'm just going to scroll up. Maybe somebody, there might be a what they call like an impersonator, or somebody who can maybe take the name, or they probably already have taken the name, Lenny Kravitz. Anyway, moving on. I'm not trying to, impersonator is not the word that I'm looking for. Tribute artist, that's kind of what I was trying to say, but then again, is it a tribute if the person's still out there gigging, performing? I'm not sure. But thank you to Valerie, who has donated £5 as well. And the message is, my first live stream, watched one of your BG's analysis videos, and now I am obsessed. Thank you. So thank you for that, Valerie. And yeah, for the kind words about the BG's analysis video. And if this is your first live stream, as it is Valerie's, hello, introduce yourself to that live chat room. That's how everyone starts out during these live streams. And then we just all get to know the usernames and get familiar with each other. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, by the way, we're now looking for 16 more people in that live chat room to hit the thumbs up to get ourselves to the Pick Roulette Likes goal. We will see where we end up with that. Right. We have another donation just quickly in that PayPal donation, and the message is from Fleur. There's a message with this. Let me scroll down because Fleur has donated £7.62. Thank you for that. And the message is, how would you feel about a collab with Julian Lennon? So thank you for that, Fleur. And yes, I've always said that I am open for all kinds of collaborations, whether it's very famous people or people who aren't famous. And I have played the collaboration that I did with Cena, who's a drummer here on YouTube, but also, you know, other collaborations that I've done. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what I have collaborated with, or who I've collaborated with in the past. I've done stuff kind of in this country, but it's been in the background with more of a dance kind of songwriter / vocal coach. Actually, some of that stuff, I don't think that's going to be on YouTube because, like I said, that's very much in the background. But let me think. Kent Johnson. I have worked with Kent, and you might have, of course, you've seen the video because it has been requested on this live stream on either a Tuesday or a Saturday, and I might be able to find Kent Johnson here somewhere. Let's jump into the, oh, you might not be able to see the picture of him, but anyway, it's You Know My Name, you know, that we've looked at, the Bond theme, Chris Cornell, that I did a cover of. That was with Kent Johnson on violin. So anyway, yes, I have done collaborations in the past. I'm open to collaborations in the future. The only problem at the moment is having the time to do collaborations. At the moment, I think it's pretty much going to be a case of collaborating either through analysis videos, as I did with Chris Lipe, recently, and those 2 videos, just a quick update on the copyrights, those are still under review, so they're just taking ages to get to those. I think they're just going to let them go the full 30 days before releasing them, which is a shame. But anyway, yeah, those Chris Lipe analysis video collaborations that I did, those will be released soon. But again, yes, the videos that I'm going to be doing, pretty much like with Steve Stevens tomorrow, it'll be a case of, maybe having our guitars out and explaining a few things in a video, but not necessarily collaborating on a full song, because, making a full song from the ground up takes quite a long time to get all of those pieces laid down, the drums, bass, vocals, guitars, harmonies, all that kind of stuff, and then sending the information and all of the takes to each other. But anyway, thank you for that, Fleur. But yes, of course, I would do a collaboration with Julian Lennon. Right, we are now up to date in that PayPal window, and I'm just going to quickly jump into the Super Chat window because Laurelie has donated $10. Thank you for that, Laurelie. And the message is, when you sat your parents down and said, I want to be a full-time musician, what was their response? So thank you for that. And I didn't sit my parents down and say it. I just started, teaching guitar. So I think that they thought, well, as long as I've got a job and I'm doing it in my spare time, then at least I'm earning money. So if I'm at home, I can pay rent and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a case of them saying, oh, no, you've got to get a proper job, because I had a job. So I think maybe parents probably have a problem when their kids say, I want to be a musician, and then their kids don't get a job to finance their dream of being a musician. Because I think a huge part of being a full-time musician is realizing that it's got to be financially viable, whether that is earning money yourself to then pay for the equipment you need and everything you need to go out gigging, and then once you've done that, be able to finance, setting up a website and recording and all that kind of stuff. But you can just learn how to do it yourself, as I did, just self-producing your album, buy the equipment you need, again, with the job that you do during the day, and just spend all the time that you can do outside of your job. And I think my parents didn't have a problem with it because, first of all, that my dad has been in bands and has that relaxed attitude to music. He knows that, he enjoys it. He wants to do it. He wants to, record a song now and then, and he isn't against it, which is fine. And that's great. So it's kind of opened the door, but also I think that they've seen how much work I've put into it, that they think, well, something's got to give at some point, and thankfully it did. But they could see that I was teaching guitar, but then also doing the gigs, doing the rehearsals, setting up websites, recording my album, doing cover videos, all the live streams and all that kind of stuff. They could see that I was very busy outside of my teaching as well. So yeah, they haven't really minded. I didn't have to sit them down and say, right, I want to be a full-time musician, because they could see that they knew that I had that wish, but they could see that I was working a lot in order to get there. So anyway, thank you for that, Laurelie. And Orlando has donated $2 as well. So thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, who has not hit the thumbs up button? Hit that thumbs up button. So thank you for that. And it looks like we have now hit the goal. So thank you for that, Orlando. And you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Michelle has donated $5 and says, I am Fleur de Lis Rising, biz name. So thank you for that, Michelle. And this is something also that I mentioned on Facebook. And I can't remember. Oh, I might have been talking to Vince where, yeah, I've said I'm starting to lose track of the aliases and the AKAs from Patreon and Facebook and YouTube and PayPal and Super Chat donations. Because, yeah, some people have their account name on YouTube, which is different to their either PayPal donations, or if they are on Patreon, it might be different to that username, or it might be different to their YouTube username that they use. So yeah, apologies for that if I do not quite register mentally who has the particular alias. Is getting a little bit complicated for me to catch up, but thank you for that, Michelle, for letting me know that over on the Super Chat window about the PayPal donations. Right, let's quickly get into the pictures. We haven't done those. There are just a couple of pictures, and I think last time we had on the live stream, it was the Kevin and Vince show, and I think we're going to have the Kevin and Vince show again tonight. So here we have Kevin, and it seems like, Kevin, it seems like he's still on his travels. I didn't get any information with this. So, Kevin, he maybe, that's Guinness, so maybe he's in Ireland. I do not know, but that I would hazard a guess that Kevin has continued his journey. He was in the UK. He was actually in Maidenhead, but he's been all over the place recently. Newcastle as well, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. But here he is. It seems like, and he was in Germany, of course, but it seems like a pint of some beverage is never far from Kevin's hand. So thank you for uploading this one, Kevin. And here we have Vince. And I'm just going to check whether I've got the two pictures that Vince sent along to me, because I think this was the first, and I do think that I have it. So, I do have the message as well. Let me actually read this out. So this is what Vince says. He says, photos of me, the Latin Rock House in the Mission District of San Francisco. The murals honor the great Latin rock musicians of San Francisco, including Carlos Santana himself behind me in the first picture, wearing my Wings of Pegasus hoodie. Near the end of the pictures below, I pose with the portraits of Filipino-American band Daquila in blue, or Daquila. So this is the second picture. Let me go and get the other picture, because that was in the different order, and there we have it. So thank you, Vince, for the information on the pictures, but also for sending those my way. So those are the few pictures that we're looking at tonight, and if you guys want to upload your pictures, then head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join in with that group and upload any pictures of merchandise you might be modeling, all that kind of stuff. You could see that Kevin had his Wings of Pegasus mask on, Vince had the hoodie on, but then also some interesting backstories to the pictures as well, because it's always great to have a look at you guys rather than looking at me for the whole live stream. Right, let's now jump into tonight's pick roulette, and time is slipping away. It's 15 minutes past 1 here in the morning, but we'll jump into this and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and I'm going to pick a top tip for tonight, who is going to be Tina McManus is going to be the top tip for tonight. So apologies about that, Tina. Let's see if I can maintain my 0% winning record of picking the winner before we spin the wheel. The darker segments here are the t-shirts, so if we land on one of those, we have a t-shirt roulette wheel that we go over to, and then somebody wins a signed custom-made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. But if we land on a name, then we are going to be having a winner of the pick roulette and the pick in the middle of the wheel, which is a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. We are slowing down and keeping an eye out for Tina's name. I can't see it anywhere. Okay, I retain my 0% record, but we are slowing down. And is it going to be Debbie? Maybe Kathy if it gets that far, or maybe... Oh, I thought it was going to get as far as Nelda, but no, it is Kathy who is the winner tonight. Congratulations to you, Kathy. Commiserations to everybody else, including Tina. But Kathy, if you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated so that she can organise everything with you in order to get your details and get that Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. So, thank you everyone for joining in with the pick roulette. If you want to get your name on next week's pick roulette, I am going to be opening up the entries now. So entries are open for next week's pick roulette because we have hit the target of 380. We are at 389. So I'm now going to write out an example of what you need to do in order to get your name on next week's pick roulette wheel. And it goes like this. I agree. I'm going to type I agree first and then tag Carla Murray in the comment if I can type properly. There we go. And I'm going to post that as an example in case you don't know how to do it. But you'll be able to see soon. Everybody will be typing I agree and tagging Carla Murray in their comment. So, and make sure you only do it once, please. That is all part of it. Just do that once and you'll be fine. So, in here, the live chat room, you can see everybody is typing I agree and tagging Carla Murray in there. So do that if you want to be on next week's pick roulette wheel. And I always say you can double your chances by tuning in on a Saturday and a Tuesday because we have a pick roulette on every live stream if we've hit the target the week before. Right, I'm going to leave a little bit of time for you guys to get your name on that wheel for next week. Let me have a little look over onto Patreon. We might have to call things to a close relatively quickly because it's almost 20 past 1 here in the morning, here in the UK, as you'll be able to see, hopefully, on the top left of your screen. But I am maybe going to play a Riff of the Week. I'm not sure because if we do a Riff of the Week, it means lots of people will be writing numbers, which I don't want to kind of clog up the live chat room. What we'll do is I'm going to pick a Riff of the Week at random and it's going to be 16. Have we had number 16? I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that could be subconsciously just a riff that I'm picking out from nowhere because we've already heard it before. So, Riff of the Week number 16. I'm going to click on this. And, it is loading, but it's taking a bit of time. I'm not sure why that is taking so long. But, right, we are going to be getting into this riff. And there's nothing to win here, but the first person to guess it wins nothing. Apart from just being the first person to guess. And again, the first person to guess it in the live chat room because everybody's order changes, different from screen to screen depending on where you are in the world. So it's on this screen. The first person to guess this is going to be the winner of nothing. So good luck to everybody. Let me get the actual riff on screen and it should be there, which it is. Let's have a listen and see what it is. If I even know what it is. It's an easy one. And there we have it. And who else heard the lead that was about to come in? So, and we haven't had that one, so that was a random pick by me, which turns out to be quite useful because we haven't heard that on the live stream before for a Riff of the Week at the end. So this is going to be just having a little look in here. Because it looks like we've got a bot going on or something going on in that live chat room. I am actually waiting for these. Oh, it's actually stopped. Hang on. M. McKay says, laugh out loud, Phil. We're in British summertime, not Greenwich Mean Time. And Greenwich Mean Time is the time in Greenwich. So it doesn't matter which, like summer or winter, it doesn't matter where you are. Anyway, let me scroll down. Oh, hang on. What? It just suddenly went down to all of the comments. So let me have a look. Right, there's a bit of bot action. Oh, right, here we go. That was the M. McKay saying about Greenwich Mean Time. But I believe Greenwich Mean Time is Greenwich Mean Time because it's in Greenwich. So it's not about the time of year. But let me scroll down. And I'm waiting to see the first person that got the riff. It was an easy one. Dwayne said Metallica, but didn't say. I mean, it's called, name the riff. So you've got to name which song it's from. So unfortunately, Metallica was correct. Let me scroll down. And Selena said one, Metallica, which is, both the band and the riff, or at least the song that the riff is from. So congratulations to you, Selena. And I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody out before that. I think that was the first correct guess. So thank you guys for playing Riff of the Week tonight. And congratulations to Selena. I'm just going to scroll down just to make sure I don't miss out anybody typing I agree. And just as I do that, you can see Lauren got it right as well. Mike got it right. It said Metallica, but it was one by Metallica. Right. Okay. So we are now going to be calling things to a close. And if you haven't entered in for next week's Pick Roulette, then unfortunately it's going to be a little bit late now because we're just calling things to a close. But it is 23 minutes past 1. I have to go off, organise everything for tomorrow's video with Steve Stevens. I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon, so head over there. And if you guys want to get involved, there's just a quick plug for patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. That's where I keep everybody up to date, and you can message me directly if you want to. Let me get rid of that. Thank you guys for all of your kind donations tonight. And I mean, they really do make a huge difference and they are massively appreciated. I know that you don't have to donate, so I really do appreciate when people donate, especially because there's a lot of other things that you could be spending your money on. But I will keep on using those donations to keep everything going, everything flowing, and pushing forward with the channel as much as I can. As you guys know, it's just me organising everything, so it was literally a case of me chatting with Steve and organising that, and with Buck Dharma for the other videos that I've done, and everybody that we've had as a guest on the channel. I've interacted with them personally. I don't have like management or a team that are emailing lots of people asking for them to be on the channel. It's just me going around seeing if anybody fancies joining me, and looking forward to that one tomorrow night. So anyway, Orlando's just donated right at the end with $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, have a great rest of the week, everyone. And I echo those sentiments. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys actually at a video tomorrow night, even though I'm doing the interview. So it means that on Friday night, I'm probably going to be editing and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe even releasing the video with Steve this Sunday. Like I said, I will let you guys know when I know and how it all goes. Right. So thank you for that, Orlando. As Orlando said, have a great rest of the week. I echo those sentiments, and as I'm saying now, stay as sane and as well and safe as possible in the crazy world that we live in. But I will see you guys at tomorrow night's analysis video, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. I'll definitely see you on Saturday, of course, for another live stream, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, and then hopefully maybe a video with Steve Stevens on Sunday, but if not, it'll be another analysis video, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of this evening or this morning or this afternoon, whatever it is where you are, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock.